Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Rebecca Sanborn with us today. Hey, Rebecca, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin, thanks for having me.
So, Rebecca, I asked you to come on the show today because I'd like you to help us define diversity, equity, inclusion. We all hear the words, we nod our heads, don't always know what they mean, though. Can you help us out with this?
I'm happy to do that, Kevin. So diversity, equity, and inclusion are interrelated concepts, but they're different. They each have a unique meaning. I'll start with diversity. That's the most basic concept. It's a quantitative concept. We're literally measuring the number of human differences that we have in an environment such as a workplace. And there's a variety of different dimensions of diversity. There's race, ethnicity, nationality, age, physical ability, and of course, sexual orientation and gender identity, which are the two dimensions of diversity that my work focuses upon. So with diversity, we're literally measuring how various kinds of human difference are represented in the workplace.
Okay, makes sense. How about equity?
So equity is a process. It's the process of ensuring that everyone has equal and fair opportunities, including individuals from marginalized groups, the same opportunities to collaborate, create, develop, lead, and really thrive in their work environment. Equity is about recognizing that discrimination and prejudice and barriers still exist for minorities and people of marginalized groups. And it's a matter of getting rid of those roadblocks and building bridges instead. And equity helps to ensure that everyone is treated fairly and justly in the workplace.
That was a real challenge for a lot of places. Like you said, making sure you're giving everyone the opportunity. We're creating maybe a team to work on something and making sure that we're including all voices. And sometimes we just don't do a really great job with that, to be honest, Rebecca.
And that's an absolutely great example. That's a big part of it, is when you're building teams, making sure that you have that diverse representation, and not just that the people are present, but as you say, that their voices are being heard and listened to as part of the team.
And finally, we're on to inclusion.
Right. So remember how I said diversity is quantitative? Inclusion is qualitative. It's about the qualitative experience that the diverse individuals have every day when they go to work. It's the lived experience. It's the extent to which employees are encouraged to bring their whole selves to work, and the extent to which, as we were talking about, they really feel like they're members of a team. And the differences are not just present, but they're being celebrated. The diversity is being celebrated. There are a number of analogies that are used pretty frequently. Diversity is having a seat at the table, and inclusion is having your voice be heard and taken account of. Diversity is being invited to the party, and inclusion is being asked to dance. That's one of my favorite ones. So at the end of the day, diversity is vitally important. It's necessary. It's the foundation. But companies and organizations and businesses really need to also be thinking about striving for equity and inclusion, because that's the key that unlocks the ability for employees to bring their best selves and their best work to the table.
I think it's something, that has just become necessary. You need to have all voices heard, because we want people to do business with us. And if we're not putting our best foot forward and we don't have a reputation of being inclusive and letting everyone have a voice, eventually, people are just going to stop doing business with us because, you're not supporting us. And we can only hide so much longer, Rebecca. It's going to catch up to you if you're not including people. And, I see it, in workplace, I see it in the classroom. You have to make sure that everyone feels welcomed. And, like I said, we've spoken about this many times. it's something new for my generation, Rebecca. For someone like myself, I have to step back and go, okay, this is what I need to do and stuff. So it's been an interesting learning environment to, be with people who are different than me. Most of my life, I never really had that opportunity. So it's been a fun learning experience, but that's exactly what it is. It's a learning experience. And I have to try to be better every day of my life, Rebecca.
We all do. I'm still learning every day, even as a DEI educator. And, as you say, it's important for the company's or the business's reputation. It's also important because studies have shown time and time again that diverse, inclusive organizations are more creative, they're more effective, they're more powerful. So there really is a strong business case to be made for DEI as well.
In my experience, when I interact with people who might be a little different than me, they bring really unique ideas to the table that I never would have thought of on my own. When you include it, like, never thought of the world that way, because you're showing me the world that way. So it's essential. You can't have a successful business without taking this into consideration. It's the way the world is. So
Right
the quicker you get it, the better off you're going to be and stuff. So Rebecca, people have more questions about this. How do they reach out to you? How can they learn more?
Oh, I'm happy to talk with people more about this subject. It's my passion. So they can call me on the phone. My number is 603-434-0068, or they can hop on my website and get in touch with me that way. The website is www.sanbornsolutionsllc.com.
Awesome, Rebecca. I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you for being my friend, Kevin. It's good to be here.